Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. Today our math topics will be about collecting and analyzing data. In today lecture, we will learn how to identify everyday question and issue involving numerical and categorical variables. So collecting and analyze data will be used in everyday life. So let's first start in defining what is collecting and analyzing data. So it is data sets group of numbers. It could be a result of scientific number. So for example, students grade in physics in grade 9, for example. It could be a survey, which is say for example the population in Australia or the population in USA. And comparison, so it's all about that. And also it could be measuring of the weight, those are only examples. Like say for example, we have a class of 30 students, we can collect data about the weight of every student. So it's the data we can get it in everyday life. So for that reason now the data contain large number and information. And for that reason there are what's called mean, which is the average, median, which is split the data into two halves. One half contains numbers that are greater than the median and vice versa. Half will contain numbers lower than the median, and there are the node. So the median node will help us understand the characteristic of the data that we have. Let's move to a quick example of what I mean. So here the mean of those two five numbers here, 1, 8, 3, 2, 6, is 4. Why? Because 1 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6 over 5 is equal to 4. Why we are dividing by 5? Because there are 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are adding all those numbers, dividing by 5. We will get what is the average about all those numbers. So for example, if Anthony have 1 over 10 in the physics exam, in the first physics exam, and he have 8 over 10 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 6 in the 5, Anthony will have average 4 in all the exams. So sometimes the first exam he have less than the average. The second exam he have more than the average. So that's why the mean tell us about the average that Anthony have in the physics result. This is the characteristic, and that's why there are what's called mean, which tell you about the average of the data that we are collecting. And there are the median that split the numbers into two halves. The first half, which is here 1, 2, lower than the median, and the other two halves are larger than the median, which is here 6 and 8. So that's why the median is 3. So 1, 2 are lower than 3, and 6, 8 are larger than 3. But sometimes the median can be tricky, because sometimes we have only odds numbers. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 numbers. We cannot get the median easy here, because if I choose the median 2, it's not right, because there are only one number lower than 2, but 2 number higher than 2. So for that reason, the definition, the median is split. So when we have odds number, in that case, we add those two, 2 plus 3, and we divide by 2. We get the average here. So sometimes, in order to get the median, we need to get the mean in the middle numbers, and we get 2.5. So the median in that example is 2.5. So that means there are 2 numbers lower than 2.5, and there are 2 numbers larger than 2. What the median tell us about the data? It will tell us that there are two numbers below that median, and there are 2 numbers larger than that median. So it tell us about the characteristic of that data. So if the median is 2.5, I already know that there are grade less than 2.5 and there are grade more than 2.5. So that's why there are the median in our characteristic. In the next YouTube video, let's move to the example number 1. So here our objective today is to learn how to read the tables that have data. So here the table number 1, it's about rainfall for Sydney, which is in millimeter the unit. So for example, in year 2002, in January there are 98 millimeter, in February 348, and etc. for 2003 to 2011 throughout the 12 months in the year. Now the first question, in this time period, which year had the highest annual rainfall? So the annual, what is the annual? The annual is the yearly rainfall. So in order to get the yearly rainfall, we need to add every month's rainfall, right? So that's how we get here the annual rainfall intensity. So 860 is the result of the addition of 98, 348, 45, 68, 93, 28, etc. to 75, and we do the same for all the other years. So from that table we can see that in 2007 the annual is 1499, which is the larger. So that's why the highest annual rainfall is 2007. Which year has the lowest annual rainfall? We will see here the small number. Which one is 860? So the year is 2002. The second question, how much rain fell in January 2006 and in May 2007? So how much rainfall in January 2006? So here the keywords is January, so you look at January, and the other keyword is 2006, so you look at 2006. And from table you can see that the rainfall is 121 millimeters. So here what are the keywords? May, so we go to May, and 2007, so the answer is 10 millimeter, which makes sense because in Australia in May we don't have rainfall. Let's move to the sixth question. You guys can practice number 3, 4, 5 and let me know in the comment section below if you have any specific question. Which year had the driest February? So here what are the keywords? The keywords are driest and February. Once we understand the keywords, we can answer easy the question. So here the first keyword is driest. Driest means that has the lower rainfall. And which month is February? So we look at February and we will check here which year has the lowest rainfall and rainfall intensity. We can see that 2006 has 51, but 2011 have only 18, which is the lowest. So here the answer will be 2011. And similarly say for November. So here the other keywords is November. So we look at November here. The driest is still the same, the lowest rainfall. So in November 13, you see here, this is let you guys practice all the other questions and let me know in the comment section below. Let's move to other example. Let's talk about the median and mean that I explained in the first part in the session. So here, this is the table. So the first row is about months, January, February, March, etc. And the first column here are about mean, lowest, median, highest. So here, consider the annual rainfall statistic for Sydney shown in table 2. What is the annual mean? And what is the annual median? So as I told you, you should first focus on the keywords. So here, what are the keywords? Annual rainfall statistic. So the annual, this is the annual, right? So this is the annual in table 2. And the other keywords is mean. So what does that mean? This is the mean. So basically that's the mean and that's the annual. So the answer will be 1215. That is the annual mean. And what is the annual median? So here this is the median and this is the annual 1160. So first, once you understand the keywords, you can get the answer easily in the table. Let me know your thought about what mean and median mean in this table in the comment section below. And if you have question about all other question, let me know in the comment section below, or if you guys can email me and I will answer your call for sure. Thank you guys for listening. We will cover the part 2 in the next video.